Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. We are going to continue with thermodynamic properties of pure fluids. In the last class, we derived two expressions for the heat capacity equations, that is Cp minus Cv and Cp divided by Cv in terms of directly measurable properties like pressure, volume, temperature. In this class, we are going to discuss about the Clapeyron equation, which is applicable for phase transition process. Examples of phase transition are melting of ice and boiling of water. Melting of ice at 1 atmospheric pressure takes place at a constant temperature of 0 degrees centigrade. Similarly, boiling of water at 1 atmospheric pressure takes place at a constant temperature of 100 degrees centigrade. So this is indicated in the PT diagram shown here. As we heat the solid ice from minus 5 degrees centigrade at 1 atmospheric pressure, it gets heated up from state 1 to state 2, that is from minus 5 degrees centigrade to 0 degrees centigrade. In this region 1 to 2, it remains in solid state. At state 2, the solid ice starts melting, and until the entire ice is melted, it consumes latent heat of melting and get transformed into liquid water. So at state 2, it coexists, solid phase and liquid phase coexist. Thereafter, if we continue heating, liquid water gets heated up from 0 degree centigrade to 100 degree centigrade. In this region 2 to 3, the substance remains in liquid state. At state 3, boiling starts, and until the entire water is evaporated to water vapor, it consumes latent heat of evaporation at 100 degree centigrade, and boiling takes place at 100 degree centigrade. Thereafter, if we continue heating, the vapor gets superheated. So at state 2 and state 3, phase transition takes place. In state 2, ice and water coexist, and similarly in state 3, water and water vapor coexist. So the condition for phase transition is constant temperature and constant pressure. We know that the fundamental property relation for change in Gibbs energy dG is given by dG is equal to VdP minus SdT. Refer to my previous class for the derivation of this equation. So we apply the condition of phase transition, that is constant temperature and pressure. If we apply the condition, dP and dt becomes equal to 0, and therefore dG becomes equal to 0 at constant temperature and pressure. Or we can write G is equal to constant. And since two phases coexist during phase transition, G alpha should be equal to G beta, where alpha is one phase, beta is another phase. For example, alpha can be solid phase during melting and beta can be liquid phase during melting. Therefore, we can write dG alpha is equal to dG beta, and substituting the expression for dG once again, V alpha dP minus S alpha dt is equal to V beta dP minus S beta dt. This equation can be rearranged as dP by dt is equal to S alpha minus S beta divided by V alpha minus V beta, which is equal to del S alpha beta divided by del V alpha beta, where del S alpha beta is the change in entropy for phase transformation from alpha to beta phase, and del V is the change in volume for phase transformation from alpha to beta phase. This is equation 1. But we know that dH is given by dH is equal to TdS plus VdP. This is one more fundamental property equation we have already derived. Again, we impose the condition of phase transition on this equation, that is constant temperature and constant pressure. Therefore, the above equation becomes dH is equal to TdS, since dt and dP is equal to 0. Or I can write del H alpha beta is equal to T into del S alpha beta, or del S alpha beta is equal to del H alpha beta divided by T. Therefore, the equation 1 becomes dP by dt is equal to del H alpha beta divided by T into del V alpha beta, as given by equation A. This is called Clapeyron equation, and this is applicable for all phase transition processes like melting, evaporation or sublimation. This equation is useful in calculating the enthalpy of phase transition processes. Next we will see the Clausius-Clapeyron equation. This equation is applicable only for vaporization. Therefore, we can substitute del H alpha beta as del H V, that is change in enthalpy for evaporation, and del V alpha beta is equal to V beta minus V alpha, where alpha is liquid phase and beta is gas phase. Now, we know that if a small amount of liquid is evaporated, it occupies a very huge volume. Therefore, the gas phase will have a large volume than the liquid phase. Therefore, change in volume can be approximately taken as the volume of the gas, since the volume of the liquid is very much negligible when compared to volume of the gas form. Therefore, I can write del V to be equal to the volume of the gas phase, that is del V is equal to Vg. And assuming the vapor to behave ideally, we can use PV is equal to nRT for n is equal to 1. I can write volume of the gas phase Vg is equal to RT by P. Now this I can substitute for Vg in equation A, and substitution equation A becomes dP by dt is equal to ultimately P into del HV by RT square. Now rearranging, the above equation becomes d of ln P divided by dt is equal to del HV by RT square, or d of ln P is equal to del HV by R into dt by T square. Assuming del HV to be constant in the temperature range T1 to T2, I can integrate the above equation to give ln P2 by P1 is equal to del HV by R into 1 minus T1, 1 divided by T1 minus 1 divided by T2. This is given by equation 3. This equation B. This equation B is the Clausius-Clapeyron equation, which is applicable only for vaporization process. And this is the end of this lecture. Meet you soon in my next lecture. Thank you for watching.